everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm bringing you another review of the ELF Smudge Pots, and I'm saying that because I actually already have a review of the 3 darkest shades in this line, but at that time I only had 3 shades. Now I have 7 shades, and upon showing my latest ELF haul, Veronica SO and you wanted to see swatches on all the shades that I now own, so I'm most happy to oblige, and thank you so much, Veronica, for requesting this video. I will be sure to link my previous review of the ELF Smudge Pots in the info box below and also somewhere around in the picture if you're interested. As I was saying, I now own 7 shades. There are 2 lighter shades than what I own, and those are called Pearls of Wisdom, which is the white one, and then Ain't It Sweet, which is the pink one. I chose not to get those because I heard that the formulation on those is not as good. And just recently, and obviously long after I had placed my order, ELF came out with 2 new shades, a matte brown and also a brownish purpley color called Wine Not, which I would just love to have, so I guess I will have to wait until my next ELF haul to get those. But the ones that I do actually own are Gotta Glow, Back to Basics, Cruising Chic, Brownie Points, Poppin' Party, Ocean Bound, and Hit the Town. When these first came out, they retailed for $2 like all the newer products in the Essential line do. Shortly afterwards, the price was increased to $3. These, to my knowledge, are the only Essential products that retail for $3. I do think that there is nothing else behind the increase in price than the popularity of these products and the fact that people are willing to pay $3 for these. These are still a great deal compared to other cream products on the market, especially since quality-wise they're just as good as those, if not even a little bit better. But I'm still not a big fan of ELF's strategy as of late of increasing their prices for no apparent reason. And I do think that that will lead to a change in the company's character, because ELF used to be all about super affordable products with good and very good quality, whereas nowadays they're aligning more their prices with the drugstore, and they used to be so much cheaper than the drugstore. So in my mind, that was a big part of the attraction that this brand had for a lot of people. Excuse me for going on a little bit of a tangent here, but just last night I was looking on their website and I saw that they just put out blotting sheets, and you're getting 25 blotting sheets for $5. Now I think that that is a bit much even for the drugstore, and I'm starting to miss the ELF of a couple of years ago where you would just get great deals on cosmetic products. But still, if you're getting these on one of their 50% off sales, you can get them for as low as $1.50 a piece, and that is an amazing deal for the quality and for the quantity of product that you're getting with each of these. So without any further ado, let's jump right into the swatches. First up, we have Gotta Glow, and I had heard that the first 2 or 3 shades are a different formulation than the rest, and they go on a bit more patchy and they're less pigmented. I cannot really complain about the pigmentation of this shade, but it does go on very patchy. I'm not sure if you're able to make this out from the swatch. Also, while I'm pressing my finger down in the pot, I can see that this is a very soft consistency. It kind of feels like toothpaste in there, and I have noticed that putting this on the lid, it does go on really patchy, and also when you blend it out, it basically blends into nothingness, so I am not really impressed with this shade. As a matter of fact, this is where I blended it out. I'm not even sure that you're able to see anything. It just leaves a little bit of golden shimmer. In fact, saying that I'm not very impressed with this shade is an understatement. As a matter of fact, I would highly advise you to skip this one. And for that same reason, I will not be getting Pearls of Wisdom and Ain't It Sweet, the 2 lightest shades, anytime soon, because if they're anything like this one in texture, I don't want them in my life. And even this shade was a waste of money in my book. Let me try to also give you a swatch of what this would look like as an eyeliner. I have tried this one on the eyes as an eyeliner and I couldn't get it to show up. Now with a bit of effort here, it does show up on the skin. I hope that you can see it. It's down here. But this is definitely not the best shade of the bunch, and I have tried to use this as a base, and even as a base it is patchy because that's how it goes on, patchy. So my honest advice is do not even bother with Gotta Glow. Second up, we have Back to Basics, and this is a taupey shade, And already by pressing my finger into the jar, I can feel that this is a firmer consistency. This is more of what a traditional cream eyeshadow would feel like. And you can see the pigmentation is totally different. It goes on much smoother. I've worn it on the eyes several times and it is just beautiful. This is a taupey shade with quite a bit of gold into it. Let me try to blend it out to give you an impression of what this would look like blended through the crease. A really gorgeous shade. This is perfect for every day. Such a simple yet classy shade, and let me try to give you an idea of what this one would look like as a liner. You can see much creamier, much better pigmentation. The formula is just different, so the result is different as well. As a matter of fact, starting with Back to Basics, all the shades are great, and I will be swatching them in the order they are listed on the website. So that was Back to Basics. Next we have Cruising Chic, and this is a darker taupey shade. Again, a nicer consistency. And you can see the pigmentation is just great. I can see some purpley undertones in this. This is such a gorgeous color. Just perfect for a one shadow look, and this is what it will look like blended out through the crease. Very nice, very subtle, yet such a gorgeous shade. All of the shades that I will be showing today are shimmery, but the new brown shade that they put out is supposed to be matte, and this is what this shade looks like as a liner. Let me pick up a bit more. I hope that you can see this. Sometimes you get this issue that a glob of product will form, and that makes it a bit harder to use than a liquid liner or a traditional cream eyeliner, but it's still manageable. Still, I like doing my concealer and my foundation if I wear foundation on that day after applying these on my eyes. But these are great because they require no primer and they do not move. Gorgeous, gorgeous shade. I really love this one. The Cruising Chic is definitely one of my favorite shades of the line. This is Brownie Points, another one that has a fan following. And this is a gorgeous brown shade. I think this is quite surprising because in the pot it looks quite a bit more bronzy, but when you swatch it, it's this beautiful rich brown, and this is super smooth and ultra pigmented. And let me give you an idea of what this would look like blended out. I hope that you can see this. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I've done one shadow look using this one as well. Just gorgeous. It takes minimal effort and the result is just gorgeous. It almost looks like a different shade when you blend it out. Some of that shimmer goes away, so it is just perfect for a one shadow look. Let me give you an idea of what this one would look like as a liner. See, nice, rich, pigmented, really, really nice. Again, you may have that issue with the glob of product, but definitely workable and very pigmented. So Brownie Points is probably my second favorite after Cruising Chic. Now the three shades that I've had for longer that I've also shown in my previous video. This is the purple one, which is called Poppin' Party. This is a really dark purple. I hope that you can see the purple. If you blend this one out, a lot of black will come out. It looks almost black when you blend it out. But if you apply it in a concentrated form, you can definitely see the purple tones, but it's a very dark purple with a lot of black in it as well. I'm thinking that ELF was probably inspired by Blackheart from the Urban Decay Naked 3 because this is kind of that same idea, except that the purple in here is not just shimmer, but you'll be getting a similar look out of this one as you would out of Blackheart. And let me just quickly try to swatch this as liner. See, nice, pigmented, and it looks almost black. The fact that this one is so dark makes it an excellent liner. And although I've had this one for over a year, it hasn't dried out in the least. The blue one is called Ocean Bound, and even though I've talked at length about these and I've swatched them before, I thought I would just swatch them together with the newer shades that I got just so that you can see everything in one place. This is really nicely pigmented in a nice vibrant shade of blue, and this is what it would look like blended out. This remains blue when you blend it out, it's just not as intense of a shade. And then as liner, this will look like this. I've actually worn this one as a liner several times. It's nice, but I do find that on the eyes I have to go over it several times to get a really intense blue line. but it is well worth the effort because this blue shade is really flattering on brown eyes. And finally, the gray hit the town, which is still very creamy, creamier than most others. And this is super nice and pigmented. This is a dark charcoal gray, very nice pigmentation and a very nice shade of gray. You really get a gorgeous looking smoky eye out of this one. I've tried it several times. It just looks like you put so much effort into it when you haven't. And this is what it looks like blended out. And as a liner, it will look pretty much like that. So these are the 7 shades that I own, swatched and then blended out on top and then used as liners on the bottom. If I were to come up with a list of cons for these products, I would probably want to see a more varied color range that would include more pops of color, like maybe a green or a burgundy. I would also like to see more matte shades. As I was saying, the new brown that they put out is supposed to be a matte. All of these ones have shimmer. They do look really pretty on the eyes, meaning that that shimmer is not gaudy in any way, shape, or form, but still more mattes would be nice. And also, I would like to see a more consistent formula, especially for the lightest shades. As I was saying, this one Gotta Glow is quite patchy and not worth the money in my book. But that is pretty much all I have in terms of cons. But then if I were to go over the pros for these products, well, first of all, they have great pigmentation. Then they do not require a primer, and even without a primer, they will not crease, they will not fade throughout the day, and they will most definitely not budge. I also appreciate their versatility. You can use these as standalone eyeshadows, you can use them as bases for other powdered eyeshadows, or you can use them as liners, so they are great for traveling. The color range as it stands includes several shades which render wonderful one shadow looks. So some of my favorites would be Cruising Chic, Brownie Points, but also Hit the Town, this dark and dramatic gray. They give you very quick yet gorgeous looks, and as a matter of fact, all of these are very easy to use, and if you're just packing them all over the lid, you can even just use your finger. And as I have demonstrated here on the top, you can even use the finger to blend them out. So again, that makes them great for using on the go, when you cannot carry a lot of brushes with you, or anytime when you're in a hurry and you want to look like you put a lot more time and effort into your look than you actually did. So if I were to give these products a grade, I would actually have to split them. So if I'm talking about all of the ones except Gotta Glow over here, I would definitely give them a 10 out of 10. These are excellent products and they are well worth the $3 price tag. They're actually worth more than that. And if I'm talking about Gotta Glow, I would probably just give this one a 2 out of a 10. I mean, it is not absolutely horrible. You do get some pigmentation out of it, but if you compare Gotta Glow with the other shades in the range, I would just advise you to skip this one. I hope that this review was helpful. Thank you so very much for taking the time to watch this. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a quick thumbs up, leave me a comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. It really helps me out when you do that, and of course it is completely free to do so. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!